Somehow, we are already halfway into the year, and in this video, I wanted to take a moment to pause and reflect on how it's been so far. It's easy to look back and think about all of the things I could have done differently or quote-unquote better. But so far, this has been a great year. I might not have had any crazy travel plans or accomplished any huge career milestones, but these past few months were full of small moments with lots of joy. I overcame many busy and stressful weeks, and although it can be hard sometimes, I think it's worth it to try to point out some of the things that I am proud of myself for. I completed an internship in my field, finished my third year of university, all while doing my best to manage consistent uploads on here. I got accepted to go study abroad in Ireland this fall, and I had so many other small in-between daily victories that are also worth celebrating. Whether you feel like the past 6 months have been full of highlights or whether they've challenged you in new ways, I'm happy you're here, and my hope is that this can inspire you if you've also been meaning to hit the reset button. We are constantly evolving and changing, so naturally, so will our goals, habits, and routines. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy, and let's get into the video. For the first part of this video, I thought I would begin with a digital reset, and that means decluttering my inbox, my files, my camera roll, and I also want to update and kind of customize my wallpaper on my MacBook as well as my iPad a little bit. I've literally had the generic, like, default Apple wallpaper on my MacBook ever since getting it, and I feel like it's time I personalize it and make it my own. So first I'm going to start with just decluttering my inbox, my files, and then we can gather some inspiration and start customizing. It's a little bit later. I just finished updating my wallpaper and adding some widgets to my desktop, and I love how it turned out. It looks a lot better than the generic Apple wallpaper I had before, if I do say so myself. As you saw, I started by going through my inbox and deleting / sorting through my emails and just making sure that was all organized, and then I moved on to Pinterest, where I made a new board with a bunch of different wallpapers that I liked, and I ended up picking this one, which I think is perfect for the summertime. As you can see, I also changed it so all of my apps are clear or like transparent. And I just love how understimulating this is. If I'm being honest, I open this and immediately feel at peace. And then in terms of the widgets, this was the most time-consuming part because I was going back and forth and rearranging them a lot, but I ended up with this little arrangement. As you can see, I have a clock, very basic, and a little overview of my Google Calendar. I also have same thing for the weather, which, especially when I'm filming, it's always nice to see what the forecast is. Underneath that, I have a shortcut to my Notes app and my most used notes. I also have a link to my Notion page that I can just click and it'll automatically take me to my dashboard, which is super convenient. And then this is probably my most exciting thing on here. It is this focus mode shortcut. And as you can see, if I click it, it just asks me how many minutes I want to focus for. Let's say 25 because that's a usual Pomodoro cycle. Then I click done and it'll create an alarm 25 minutes from now and turn on Do Not Disturb automatically. I thought that was really cool, especially because obviously I do a lot of editing on my computer and it's always nice to have some kind of way to keep track of time and keep me focused. I also have a Shazam shortcut on here because I use it a lot, funnily enough, when I'm watching YouTube videos and I want to find out where a creator got a certain song from. So anyways, that is what my desktop looks like. I'm feeling really good about it and determined to keep it clean and keep it tidy. I'm gonna take a bit of time to also update my wallpaper and home screen on my iPad as well. And now I'm gonna do something I probably should have done a lot earlier, and that is to put a screen protector on my iPad. I've had this one, actually I just changed it earlier this year and still haven't put a screen protector on it, which I'm a bit embarrassed about. I'm very happy to be partnering with AstroPad on today's video. I'm gonna be putting on their screen protector and also changing the tip of my Apple Pen. both of which are long overdue if I do say so myself. Rock Paper Pencil is a two-part system for your iPad that includes a matte screen protector and precision ballpoint Apple Pencil tips. And the two of them work together so that when you're writing on your iPad, it feels like you're writing on actual paper. Not only that, but the stainless steel Apple Pencil tip that's on here is actually a lot more precise, and it's also specifically designed not to run down. Writing on my iPad with this combo honestly made it feel so much smoother and more enjoyable. It was as though I was writing in my own journal. As you guys saw, applying this was also like the easiest thing ever. It took me genuinely, I think, less than a minute. And what's great about it is that the screen protector is actually applied not with adhesive, but with a static cling, which obviously means it's super easy to take on or off, and you don't have to worry about those air bubbles that I feel like I'm constantly fighting with when I'm putting on a screen protector. It's also great because if I'm watching movies or YouTube videos, for example, and I don't want the matte kind of look, I can also very easily take this off without it being a pain. If you're interested in giving your iPad a bit of a reset and refresh of its own, I'll have a link in the description for you to check out. I also have a discount code for 10% off, which I'll put on screen here and in the description below if you choose to shop. A big thank you once again to Astropad for sponsoring this part of the video and helping me with my digital reset. And now let's get on with the rest of this vlog. We have now reached the self-care portion of this reset, and as you saw earlier, I had to wash my hair, so I ended up just taking a full everything shower and making the most of it. A shower to me is almost like a mini reset of some sort when I'm not feeling good, or if I'm in a funk and can't seem to focus or be productive. I like to sometimes just take a shower, and that's almost a way for me to hit the reset button during my day. But it's also nice to almost romanticize my shower and use it as a pretense for self-care. So anyways, I got ready, and now we're actually going to be doing some journaling. Obviously, the reason behind why I'm doing these quarterly resets is to use that as an opportunity to check in on my resolutions every 3 months and really see and reflect on how the past 3 months have been before I get into setting some new goals. I want to be able to actually slow down, take my time, and especially when I'm journaling, I feel like it always takes me maybe 2 to 3 pages before I really get into the flow. So it's always nice when I don't feel like I'm doing it in a rush. And today I thought I would actually head outside and go journal at the park. I feel like it's just obviously a nice summer day, so I want to take advantage of the weather, but ever since summer started, I feel guilty staying indoors because I'm such a homebody. Hopefully I can find a good picnic table or a bench that I can sit down at and journal, and I will see you guys once I'm at the park. It has been a while. I have journaled, I don't know how many pages. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 11, 12 pages. I've journaled 12 pages, and I don't even know where to start. When I journal, I basically just do like a stream of consciousness, so I just follow whatever my train of thought is and try to put that onto paper. Sometimes my hand can't keep up, but I don't know why, that just feels the most therapeutic for me. There's so many birds. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're going crazy. Anyways, so I started by just writing about whatever came to mind. It's hard when I'm doing this sit down and reflecting to zoom out of the past few weeks. I feel like it's hard to really look back on the past 3 months or even the past 6 months and see everything I've accomplished and overcome. Instead, it's so easy to just pinpoint all the things I wish I'd done differently or all the things I'm currently going through that are feeling challenging. So it's a good exercise, but what I did is I actually wrote, first of all, whatever came to mind, and then I wrote a list of things that I'm proud of from the past 6 months. Like I was just saying, it's so easy to get caught up in what I can improve and what I can do differently, especially when I'm sitting down to set goals, because obviously it's very results driven. And so when I don't necessarily achieve said result, I can oftentimes feel like a failure, and especially sharing these goals and my progress on the internet can sometimes feel very vulnerable. But my goal is that hopefully this is inspiring to some of you guys. This can be refreshing from all the content you see online about people that seem to be constantly having their life together, and the truth is sometimes I set goals and I forget about them, which we'll get to in a little bit. But anyways, I wrote that list of things that I'm proud of from the first half of this year, and then I also wrote a list of things that I'm looking forward to for the second half of 2026. Ever since coming on summer break, the main thing I've been doing to pass time and to quote-unquote work has been making videos, and that's kind of messed with my head a little bit, I think, because obviously the videos I make are about myself and my lifestyle, so when I'm not feeling 100%, it's really hard for me to pick up the camera and know what to say in a very polished way. The truth is I repeat myself all the time. I stumble over my words. I scrap videos that I have spent hours working on. So anyways, coming back to what I was saying, I don't know what it is, but because I have so much free time, I'm just paralyzed by the possibilities and I do nothing, which is a terrible feeling, because then I just ruminate on the fact that I should be productive, I should be enjoying this free time and doing all these things. And as a result, I just feel terrible. It's honestly not been great, so that's what I'm currently working through. That's why it's important for me to remind myself that summer is not over yet. I still have plenty of time and it's okay to slow down. Moving on now to reflecting on the 3 goals that I had set for this past quarter, which was from April to June. So technically June's not over. I still have a little bit of time, and I'm hoping that with the 2 weeks I have left, I can work on this first goal of mine, which was to read 2 personal finance books and set aside money into my savings. I am honestly a little bit embarrassed. Not even a little bit. I am embarrassed. It's okay to admit it. I feel like I failed at this goal because if you remember from my New Year reset video back in January, I was talking about how financial literacy is a goal I've been wanting to work on for a long time, and then when the month of March came and I didn't feel like I had achieved anything to work towards that goal, I tried to be more specific and challenge myself to read 2 personal finance books and like specifically set aside money. And now it's another 3 months later and I don't feel like I've done that. I still have not made any more progress in reading The Psychology of Money, which was the book I picked out. In times like these, when it's easy to focus on my quote-unquote failures, I think it's helpful to remind myself of the reason why I wanted to prioritize this goal in the first place, and that is to set myself up for success in the future. And it's no use being ashamed and being embarrassed about the fact that I didn't achieve this goal. It's just worthwhile to continue going at it and continue trying. I also think I'm definitely more than capable of finishing The Psychology of Money. I have like maybe 100 pages left of that book and it's such a fast read, so I just need to actually remind myself to do it. I see my camera battery is flashing, so I'm gonna have to speed through the rest of this, but my second goal was to develop a healthy and sustainable content creation workflow, and this one I think is always going to be a work in progress. I don't think I'm ever going to say like, yes, I've discovered the secret. I am super consistent and super balanced at making regular uploads, but I think I'm making progress towards this, and now that it's summertime, it's definitely been different having all this time on my hand to make content. It's weirdly enough, as I was saying earlier, been kind of paralyzing, but I think I'm getting into a groove where I'm feeling inspired again. And once again, I need to go back to the reason why I wrote down this goal, and that reason is that I want to document things more meaningfully. I want to create content I'm not only excited and passionate about, but also do so without burning out. And that's always going to be a challenge. I think there's always going to be ups and downs, but I do feel like I'm in a good place right now. Last but not least, my third goal was to intentionally take time off and try hobbies outside of my screen time. I've sort of done this. That's what I wrote. I said I didn't necessarily try that many hobbies, but I did schedule a lot of social outings, which were a lot of fun, and that's something I want to continue doing this summer. My screen time is okay. I did spend an entire day last week watching Off Campus, and I binge watched it all in a single day, so that was probably not great, but I think right now more than ever, I'm like having this wake-up call that I need to get outside. I need to consume books and movies and things that are going to actually fuel me and not just rot my brain. So I want to continue working on this, especially the part about intentionally taking time off, because the work-life balance thing is still something I am. My camera battery did die, but I wanted to finish my thoughts, so bear with the iPhone footage for a little bit. I was in the middle of saying that I think work-life balance is always going to be something I'm going to be grappling with and working on, and I have definitely come to the conclusion lately that I don't see myself ever doing content full-time. I think I always need to have something else going on the side. Perhaps it sounds counterintuitive, but honestly, it keeps me sane to have more things going on, because that way I'm not hyperfixating on every little thing. I guess that is a good segue to transition into the the news that I have, which is that I'm actually going to be starting a new internship next week. And I think doing that part-time is going to be really good for me, and it's going to help me hopefully have more balance. I know adding work to my current schedule might seem counterintuitive in terms of finding balance, but I promise I believe this is the right move for me. I'm feeling excited about it. I love to learn, and obviously learning in a hands-on way has always been my preferred approach, so that's going to be fun. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to actually share or document, but expect some summer internship content, I guess. I'm gonna go back home and hopefully charge my camera battery and be able to check in with you then. I will say this was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed my park journaling session. As I said, wrote 12 pages, so clearly it was inspiring. But I will see you guys once I'm home. Voiceover Clarice jumping in here to walk you guys through the last, I guess, phase of this reset, which I've decided to call the lifestyle reset. And this really doesn't have to be anything daunting. For me, what that means is basically that I'm just putting into action the things that I've been thinking about or journaling about. As you can see here, I'm making a Pinterest board because, of course, who doesn't love a good Pinterest board to get inspiration? I made a little summer bucket list for myself because that's actually one of my goals for the next 3 months, is just to slow down and enjoy my summer, which might not seem like the biggest goal for you, but oftentimes self-improvement is always about adding, whether that be adding a new habit or even a new product to your routine. But I guess you could say I'm rather focusing on simplifying my life, and instead of adding things, I'm just solidifying what's already there. Of course, you're welcome to comment down below what you want to focus on this next quarter. It could even just be a word that you want to have as your theme for the next few months. Whatever it is that's going to help you put those resolutions into action. Good morning, everyone. I am gonna make myself a matcha right now really quick because I have to head out for my Pilates class. Today is kind of the day where I'm putting into action the routines and the goals that I gave myself. I'm going to Pilates this morning, and then afterwards I have plans to go work at the library to catch up on some editing. I'm really trying to make it a habit to get out of the house for me to get my work done, because I've noticed if I just stay home all week, it's really hard for me to find balance and to know when to end my workday. I'm trying a new instructor this morning. I've never taken her class before, so I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. I gotta head out now because I don't want to miss my train, but let's get this day started. As we are coming to the end of this reset video, I wanted to thank you if you have made it up until this point. It truly means so much, and I honestly feel like this video was really therapeutic for me to make and put together, so I hope that you enjoyed it as well. I would love to know what kind of content you want to see from me this summer, so if you have any suggestions or ideas, as always, you're welcome to comment down below. And as per usual, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night wherever you are. I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Bye!